Of all the commandments, which is the most important? A teacher of the law came to Jesus and asked this very question, a fair and honest question. He probably didn't realize that it would center around love, loving God and loving others. It's a tandem that continues to serve us and those around us well. There are 615 individual commandments in the law of Moses. 365 are negative, 248 are positive ones. A lot of commandments. The Jews believed that they were all binding, but that some were weightier than others. So they often tried to sum up the whole law with a single unifying command. When asked this question, Jesus said this in verse 29 of chapter 12 of Mark. The most important one, answered Jesus, is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this. Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. So before we get to the command, we look at the source of the command, the Lord our God, whom we know through Old Testament stories. He's not remote. He's not an unapproachable deity, but a God that you can count on. He spoke to Abraham and Samuel. He gave instructions to Noah about building the ark. He spoke to Moses through a burning bush and later face to face. But he's also a God without limits. Yet he invests in over 6 billion people all at once without feeling a sense of drain or diminishment, because that's what it means to be God. The Old Testament reveals a Father who has a limitless appetite for love. And it cannot be that any person, you or I included, should know him as he really is and not desire him. And then we come to the commandment itself. Love the Lord your God with the whole of your heart. So in the Bible, the heart is the core of who you are as a person. It's the place where you have your will, attitude, and your intentions. It's the source of your thoughts, actions, and words. And then love the Lord your God with the whole of your soul. And the soul is central to personhood of a human being. It's the part of every human that's going to last eternally. Then love the Lord your God with the whole of your mind. We use our thought capacity to study and to learn of God. And we can formulate true, consistent, and reasonable understandings of God from the Bible, knowing that there are erroneous, deceptive, and false beliefs about Him. And finally, love the Lord your God with the whole of your strength. We especially use our bodies to express our love to God. Bowing, standing, singing gives bodily expression to worship. And we use our hands and feet in service to our community for those who are in need, and we do it in His name. We are meant to love God, not only to believe certain things about Him, but to love Him. And it's a completely, fully devoted, all-encompassing love. The second commandment is this: love your neighbor as yourself. Now, loving your neighbor means doing the very best for that person. What does that look like? What does it look like to love your neighbor as yourself? Well, it's not squishy. It's commitment. It never gives up on people. It cares more for others than for self. It doesn't want what it doesn't have, It doesn't strut. It isn't me first. It doesn't have a swelled head and doesn't force itself on others. Doesn't fly off the handle. Takes pleasure in the truth. Puts up with anything and always looks for the best. That's what it looks like to love your neighbor. And then you ask, well, who is my neighbor anyway? Is that the friends next door or those that you just really like? So Jesus told the story of a Jewish person who went on a trip and he was attacked by robbers who left him beside the road half dead. A priest and a religious worker passed right by him without helping, and it was the non-Jewish Samaritan who bent over backwards to give him help. Jesus then asked the crowd, who do you think was a neighbor? Our neighbors are any whom we come across who are in need. Now, beware. Be aware that perfectly loving God and perfectly loving others is a high standard. Obeying the commandments makes you a better person and makes us better people. It will make your neighborhood better and the world a better place. But to keep the commandments, we need to turn to a greater power. And that is our key spiritual insight. We follow the great commandments of loving God and loving others by the power of Christ operating within us. We've all tried to keep the commandments and nothing helped. We've all wanted to serve God better, wanted to serve Him with all of our heart and mind, but we've been pulled by the influence of sin to do something different. But now there is new power. New power is in operation within us as Christians. Christ's Spirit is alongside helping us to love God and to love others.